Y'all think it's funny dating these rich, power-hungry, unchecked, wicked people? By all means, have at it. This is part 5 of Hollywood Babylon. And the cover-up is in William Randolph Hearst. He had a silver mine about $400 million in fortune. He owned the tabloids, like he owned the newspapers and everything. But even his rivals, they won't print nothing bad about him. However, one paper one day did post the wrong thing, and it read, movie producer shot on Hearst yacht. That was written by the LA Times. However, that was yanked. Now let me get to the tea before I get to the real story. The movie producer was the father producer of the Westerns. His name is Thomas H. Ince, I-N-C-E. So he was about to celebrate his 43rd birthday. Now, when he was celebrating, he was going to celebrate with William Randolph Hearst. They had the biggest, best parties. Hearst's mistress' name was Marion Davies. Now, even though the papers never heard of them being together, of course he would have it that way because he was in charge of most of the papers, and everyone else feared him enough where they're not going to post nothing he don't want posted in any paper anywhere. So it would post that she was gorgeous, she was beautiful, she was the best, hottest, up and coming. He even bought her a huge beach house where they would throw extravagant parties, darling. However, the one where you really needed the exclusive invite was the yacht parties. Oh, it was even better, but only the cream of the crop can come. The best celebrities, the most talked about, and the inner circle. So your man Hearst was like, Thomas, we're going to celebrate your 43rd birthday. Have your friends come. Marion, she brought her sisters and nieces and stuff like that. So it's filled with a whole bunch of his friends. They have a jazz band on board, celebrities galore, of course, these exclusive ones, and champagne. And of course, Marion was on there. She was 27 years old with her big daddy. And that was William Randall Hearst, you know, the person that owned the yacht. So I'm like, wow, he went out with a bang for Thomas's birthday. A producer that he knew. I'm like, that is so cool. However, Thomas didn't make it right away because he had to attend a premiere of the latest production that he did. So he was going to take the train to meet them in San Diego. Now, here is where it gets dicey. They say everybody was having a great time, but all of a sudden some crazy mess happens and nobody remembers or nobody can get their story together. Now, I told you Hearst owned a paper. So in his paper, it read, special car rushes stricken man from home of the ranch. So Thomas Ince suddenly stricken unconscious. He was removed to a special car attended by 2 specialists and 3 nurses and hurried back to his canyon home. His wife and sons and his brothers, Ralph and John, were at his bedside when the end came. Wow. He posted a whole story. Too bad everybody else didn't get their story together because everybody saw him on the yacht. Everybody saw him partying. One of the secretaries saw weapon holes in Thomas's head and he was carried off the yacht. They was like, how are y'all going to put he had ingestion? However, the papers, they all kept clear of this. Couldn't find this in the newspaper. And everybody was like that. Hearst kept a diamond revolver aboard his yacht. Now, let me tell you why. This idiot, he kept the revolver because once in a while, he just wanted to shoot in midair a seagull down and be like, look at me, look at me. I'm like, really? Yo, this would happen when you have an ego and nobody to check you. Because think about it. If you keep a whole bunch of yes men and people that praise you around, who's going to tell you about yourself? Matter of fact, who can tell you about yourself? These scandals are, but these scandals are still going on today. Now, the tea was Marion, his little girlfriend, his mistress, that he was always showering with gifts. You know, the 27-year-old, yes, daddy. He was jealous. He had a detective keeping him informed of her every move and everything she did. Charlie Chaplin was invited by Hearst, and it wasn't because he was friendly. He felt like Marion was having an affair with him. He had a detective watching them and everything. So during some time in the party, he noticed that Charlie and Marion slipped downstairs. So he goes downstairs. All of a sudden, you hear Marion screaming, murder! which brought all the other guests running. It was not Charlie Chaplin on the floor. It was Thomas Ince. And mind you, it was all his friends and family. This is with friends like this, leave me out of the circle. His funeral was held November 21st. Everyone attended. Marion, Charlie, Mary Pickford, Douglas, all of these big celebrities. But Hearst ain't bring his behind on. The body was immediately cremated. No investigation done or nothing. Hearst was like, I am free and clear of this situation. He is cremated and he is already done. However, there was too many damn people on that boat. Remember, you had the band, you had all these celebrities, you had all this dude's friends and family on this boat. It was his birthday. The gossip started spewing. Even though everybody on that boat was sworn to secrecy, the rumors were so loud that, because nobody could know who the rumors came from because everybody was supposed to not say nothing, but yeah, okay. But the rumors were so loud that it got to the San Diego District Attorney, Chester Kempley. They called for an investigation. Now, out of everybody on the yacht, only one person, Dr. Daniel Carson Goodman, that was Hearst's employee, was called to testify for his story. So he gave a testimony and he was like, listen, we picked him up on Sunday to join the party. And when he arrived, he complained of being tired. So he ate a little bit. The next morning, me and him rose up and he complained that during the night he had an attack on his indigestion. Now, me being a doctor, I was able to diagnose him. I thought it was best to take him off the train, and I insisted upon him resting in a hotel. I telephoned his wife that he wasn't feeling well. I called the physician, and I remained there until the afternoon, and then I continued to Los Angeles. Mr. Thomas Ince had told me he had similar attacks before, but they never amounted to anything. Mr. Ince never gave no evidence of having any liquor of any kind, so my knowledge as a physician enabled me to diagnose him with a case of acute indigestion. The San Diego DA dismissed the case, and he wrote, I was beginning to investigate the case of many rumors to my office regarding the case. I considered all of them to be rumors, and I definitely considered every rumor that I've heard. And now that I've investigated, everything seems to be unfounded, and the stories of drinking on the yacht is to be ceased. People came to me with persistent reports, and I investigated in order to satisfy them. But after questioning the doctor, the nurse who attended Mr. Ince at Del Mar, I am satisfied that his unaliving is from ordinary causes. How about this? The district attorney never bothered to even question anybody that was on the party boat. The investigation ended before anybody was even questioned. Now, some people came up on it. For example, Luella Parsons, she was awarded a lifetime contract with the Hearst studio after this incident. Her syndications was also expanded. It was rumored that she's seen it all. And she also felt to do a little bit of covering up. She said she was in New York City at the time. The only problem with that is that Marion Standen, her name was Verna Burnett, she clearly saw her ass jumping on that yacht that day with Davies and Chaplin. However, Vera Burnett worked for the studio, so she knew she better keep her mouth shut. So she didn't even press the issue. The scandal was all neat and covered up. Mr. Hearst had gotten away with it. However, D.W. Griffith remarked in the later years, all you got to do to make Hearst turn white as a ghost is mention Thomas Ince's name. There's so much stuff wrong there, but Hearst is too big to touch. However, they say that if Hearst ever heard you mention Ince's name within a few feet of him, you was uninvited to his extravagant parties in Santa Monica Beach House or at the castle. So now all it is speculation all these years later. So get this. Thomas Ince, now the wife put it up for sale shortly after his departure in life. However, this is interesting. This tea is piping hot. Get ready for this. So upstairs, there was a gallery full of rooms, and each room had a peephole in it. So when Tom would invite everybody to his house, they would go upstairs and he had the keys to the room and he would peep in and look in each room. You can look dead at the bed. And guess what they call it? Only Peeping Tom Ince had the key. Oh my gosh, this is where the whole saying Peeping Tom came in. Can you believe this? Hollyweird. Anyway, I am going to keep up with the next stay tuned. Just a reminder, this is number 5. Make sure y'all watch 1 through 4. I still have a ton more to go. But till then, thank you.